Throw it down, big man.
Welcome everybody back to the Throw It Down Big Fella podcast. I am here. I have my boy in studio with me, the one and only Michael Miles. Michael, thank you so much for joining me in studio live here. It's going to be a great episode, you guys. Of course, we're going to break down all the trades that went down in the NBA. I had my takes on it, but I want to hear from my boy Mike what he feels about all the trades and everything that's going on. And breaking news, like we were getting ready to record and all that. Breaking news, the trade for Mark Williams from Charlotte to LA that sent Dalton Connect and a draft pick, or 2 second-round draft picks, that has been rescinded because of Mark Williams' health. I'm now probably sure it's probably his injury, and they were trying to hide it, the Charlotte Hornets, but the trade's been rescinded, so that means Dalton Connect is back, but the Lakers have no center. Well, they have Jackson Hayes, but so we'll start with there, Mike. Like, why did it take so long after the trade deadline to say, okay, Mark Williams, he's a little bit more hurt. Like the whole thing just went out after the trade deadline. What's your reaction to that?
I mean, my reaction to it is, obviously Mark Williams was hurt. Charlotte didn't fulfill their obligation doing it for the trade, and the Lakers rescinded the trade. I actually think that might be a good thing for the Lakers because they get a shooter back in Dalton Connect.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm pretty sure they can find a guy, somebody serviceable on waiver wire and free agency that can to fill that vote in the center position.
I mean, it's so crazy. Like it was literally Thursday. This is Saturday. He was supposed to. They said he was not officially in today, but he's gonna make his debut Monday against Utah, along with Luka, who's making his debut Monday. For this to happen right now, could it?
Yeah.
But they getting Dalton Connect back, so that could be Dalton Connect was really doing pretty good for Lakers in his rookie year.
Shooter, a streaky player, but he can still shoot the ball really good. And I think the Lakers rescinded this deal, so they obviously didn't really want to give him up, at least that badly. And they had high praise for him during the draft that, he fell to their lap pretty much during the draft process. So they get a shooter back in their rotation. And, I'm sure they'll find somebody off the waiver wire to fill that void at center.
So, I saw this report after Thursday's trade deadline, Wednesday or Thursday. The Lakers were going after Jalen Duren, former Memphis Tiger, Jalen Duren. Wingspan is out the frame. They were going for him, but they went on ahead and got Mark Williams that Wednesday night, the same day that Jimmy Butler got traded. We'll get to that Jimmy Butler trade. But should they have went after Jalen Duren?
Absolutely. Jalen Duren is he's playing phenomenal basketball right now. The way Detroit is playing in the Eastern Conference, they're going to be a team to look out for in the playoffs. I do hope they make it to the playoffs. They have some really good pieces, and they have a good coach there in place. So they're gonna be all right. I think they're going to be a team to watch potentially in the Eastern Conference during the playoffs. They're a young team. They're dealing with some injuries, but they're still playing some really good basketball. Kate Cunningham, he's an all-star first time. He's having a great year.
Yeah. Man, the Lakers are like, man, we should have went Jalen Duren. But like you said, they need to find a big man. You said a couple names earlier. You said Mo Bamba.
I think he's out there.
What about Boy, the guy from Phoenix? The big boy? Bobo.
I don't,
maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think, before they traded AD for Luka, really all they were needing was another big to add to the roster. They really didn't. I really didn't feel like the Lakers, quote unquote, needed a Doncic. Luka. I can't get his last name, but they really, didn't need Luka.
They needed a big man.
They, they really needed more so a big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every team needs a Luka,
right.
But before that whole discussion came about,
mm-hmm.
I think AD, LeBron, they were looking for just a center,
like a young Valanciunas.
Yeah, they were looking for a center,
mm-hmm.
and so.
Who got traded to Sacramento, by the way? That was another guy the Lakers were keying in on, was Jonas Valanciunas.
Sacramento's trying to reload and salvage their season.
I'm going to get to Sacramento later. I don't know what Sacramento is doing. I don't know if they just punting the season away. Like, we see a lot of times.
I don't know what Atlanta is doing. They seem like they were punting the season too. Who was that? Their two wings.
Yeah, yeah.
Herder and Bogdanovich.
Bogdanovich, Atlanta, yeah. We're going to get to all that. But, yeah, so you were mentioning Luka trade. Who do you think won that trade? The Lakers or the Dallas? Of course, you guys, if you don't know, you're living on a rock. Anthony Davis got traded this past week, Saturday night, 11 o'clock. Everybody's sleeping, and then I get bing, bing, bing. I'm like, what in the world going on? I saw it at 2 a.m. I'm like, what? Like, getting ready to go to church the next day, and I see that alert. I'm like, hey, no way. Like, and I kept thinking about it all day, but of course, AD got traded to Dallas for him, Max Christie, and only a first round, I think that's 2029 first round draft pick, and the Lakers got Luka, Max Kleber, and Markieff Morris. Who won the trade to you, Mike?
Well, I think for the Lakers, they're looking for somebody to replace LeBron after he eventually retires.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think with the Mavs approaching the Lakers with this trade, I'm pretty sure the Lakers were floored to, one, receive an offer like this. And it was probably an offer that they couldn't refuse.
Mm-hmm.
So they accomplished after LeBron, post LeBron, with adding a superstar, which the Lakers always seem to get, or always seem to land as a superstar for their organization.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mavericks getting AD, I really think they were just trying to fill the void with Lively, who was out, I believe, for probably another 2 to 3 months with his injury.
I believe it's April.
And
I believe it's April. I think it's April. Lively.
Yeah, Lively. Mm-hmm. Who's playing? He's playing good basketball as well.
Yes.
And so as far as like winning goes, I mean, the Mavericks in the short term, they emphasize defense. I mean, Luka, he is a liability on defense, but I think with us not seeing him a lot this season, and with there obviously being some issues going on behind the scenes, whether it be conditioning, whether it be his just leadership, eating habits,
his diet,
arguing with the refs, those things, and his impending contract coming up. The Mavericks said that we don't trust him to be the face of our franchise any longer, any further. And I think we kind of forget that Luka, despite the fact that he's a liability on defense, offensively, he was basically unstoppable. I mean, he makes unbelievable shots. He's extremely clutch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they were able to make it to the finals. And that's why he is a 5-time NBA all-around player.
Mm-hmm.
All-star getter. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
Luka, he could do it, offensively. Yeah. Defensively, that was the emphasis of the Dallas trade. I think, this trade allows Kyrie to go off because Kyrie is one of the most exciting guards we'll ever see. In a way, he's like a shorter version of Kobe Bryant, in my opinion. And so I think we're going to see the best basketball of Kyrie and the best basketball of AD because now he gets to play the power forward position. Guy fulfills the role of center. If they remain healthy, I think in the short term, Dallas is going to be a force to reckon with for the next 2 or 3 years. And we'll see how it goes. Um, so I would say it's kind of split, 50-50 as far as who's going to win, who won the trade.
You feel like both teams. You feel like both of them.
But I think both teams accomplished what they wanted to accomplish by making this trade. Now, as far as compensation goes, I mean, the Lakers only traded away a first round,
Mm-hmm.
and you see all, there are so many players we can name and list.
Rudy Gobert. They had six first rounds, yeah.
First, second,
third.
I mean,
Mikal Bridges was 5 first round
picks. And you talking about one pick was pretty much
with Luka
in the deal.
Yeah.
So conversation wise, it looks like a bad trade all around for
the Dallas Mavericks.
For the Mavericks. But in the short term, I mean, I think they got what they wanted. They're happy about it. A lot of fans are upset about it, obviously, and they're over here threatening.
Did you see
the
that
front office?
Did you see that earlier before the game? They were threatening him. They were saying Nico had to have extra security around his house, around the arena.
I mean, they're bringing caskets and all kinds of things and returning season tickets, refunding for certain season tickets and things. And I mean, the Mavericks fans, y'all just got to give them time. This could be a good thing.
It could be. It
may not like to hear that right now, but it could be a good thing.
I agree. And also, sad to say, AD got hurt in this game against Houston, left in the third quarter with a growing strain. I think he pushed himself too hard to come back. And I think he's been hearing a lot of stuff talk about his character and his ability. I hate to say this, and I love Charles Barkley, Kenny, Smith, and Shaq, but they started this whole street clothes, which Chuck started the whole 80s street clothes thing, question his toughness. If you guys remember with the Lakers and Golden State series a couple years ago, AD was in a wheelchair. Like, he got hurt, and they put him in a wheelchair, and they carted him off. If you go back to the post game inside the NBA, both Chuck, Charles, and Kenny, well, not really Kenny, but Charles and Shaq were both laughing at AD on the wheelchair and questioning his toughness. I don't know if they meant to give the guy. I don't know, but it looks bad for their part. And they're NBA veterans. You're supposed to protect the NBA brotherhood. Supposed to have each other's back. For them to laugh at the man wheelchair, was it a little bit too much? I don't know, because he played the next game. But if he was hurt, he was hurt. But it was a bad look. But now both of them are saying this is a great trade. That we trust AD and all. You gotta make your mind up. Like you question his toughness, but now it's like it's a good trade for them. AD has to be 100% healthy for me to say that this trade really, really worked. His durability is the key. And among this trade for Dallas Mavericks, can you stay on the court? If you can stay on the court, AD, yes, this trade will work. But sad to say, I don't think it's going to work for Dallas. I think in a couple of years, I don't see AD staying. I don't see Kyrie. I think Kyrie possibly can leave. And I think Nico can probably be fired at this point. I mean,
it's a lot of risk.
It's a lot for
short
term.
Yeah, it could work both ways. I mean, because Luka, he's dealing with the calf injury, and I mean those leg injuries tend to linger longer than most other injuries. And I mean, look at Joel Embiid. I mean, he plays one game, he's out for like 2 weeks, and then he comes right back. So.
I don't know which is on Luka. This is his first major injury. Now, Luka's had dinged up soreness, whatever. He'll miss one game and come back and play. But this is like his first major injury. He's 25 years old. But depending on him coming back and you can sustain it and all, I think that's the key. But for Dallas' sake, the organization, the diet, the trainers, the dietitians, the people that are supposed to, because Luka could come in fat. I think all NBA players come in out of shape after the summer. Like, they're summering, they're partying, they're doing what they want to do. maybe like gain 5, 4 pounds, like a little couple pounds every day there. But like for the most part, LeBron still's in shape. But everybody comes out.
On lock.
He do have it on lock. But like outside of LeBron and maybe Kobe, maybe even Michael Jordan, maybe the greats among the greats, they're not overweight. But everybody else, they come in overweight, they're not in shape.
Yeah.
When that player comes in, the training staff, the conditioning coach, they have a job to do. Your job is to get the top NBA player in shape and ready to go. The Dallas Mavericks, I don't think their training staff, I don't think they're getting them in right 100% right.
I mean, I think that's like the whole history of Nico, and his history with Kobe Bryant, and I think being a part of his agent, witnessed a lot of the work ethic of some of the great players. So I just think that the Mavericks, they looked at Luka, and they looked at him arguing to the refs. They had zero pushback when it came to Windhorst. What he said during the finals, Game 3 of the finals, when he was complaining to the refs, when he just looked out of shape, looked heavier, and they're celebrating the finals and what.
Michael Finley got
Michael Finley took his drink away.
I wish Michael Finley would have done it on him. I wish he would have done it on him.
So obviously there were some things going on the court, off the court, that kind of influenced them to make that decision. I don't know.
It's just the small stuff, like you said. But it's like if you can't get Luke or any other basketball player in shape, ready to go, you gotta get fired. You gotta be fired. And I think that's what Nico should have done. It's like, you know what? Y'all have a job to do. I'm paying you. Everybody's not doing this for free. You're getting a paycheck. Like, get Luka 100% right, healthy wise, so we can make a push in the play. Like, he's our star player. It can't just be Luka is at fault as well, and I get it because of condition. But like you have people around her to get it right. And if they were really dedicated to Luka, they would find ways to make this work. I mean, he just took it to the NBA Finals. Like, he's not Zion. Zion, I don't want to say Zion's a bust. I don't want to be too harsh on him, but he's got to get some better motivation. I mean, New Orleans, I don't know if it's got definitely the food and the atmosphere in New Orleans. Like, he's not focused. Like, he's got baby mama stuff. He's not focused like what we want Zion to be. So does he need a change of scenery? Sure he does. But I think Luka coming to LA, working with LeBron, who's 100% dedicated to working out and cares about his body. You don't think LeBron is gonna get him in shape and ready to go?
Like, I think he's gonna be a positive influence to Luka. I think Luka's gonna come in motivated and on fire, ready to work. I think that's what he's gonna do. And I think, JJ's gonna hold him accountable as a coach. And that's the hope. And if he stays healthy, if everybody stays healthy, if Luka stays healthy, if AD stay healthy, trade can work out good for both of them, for both organizations.
Yeah.
You know what? I said 50-50, but I think I would say probably the Lakers got the better end of this deal. I think if we're gonna pick a winner, I think I would say right now for the long term, the Lakers are gonna win the deal. The Mavericks, they pretty much have to win. They gotta win. They gotta win. They simple. They gotta make it to the finals. For the next at least 3 to 4 years. To do something. They need to win. They gotta win. I think the Lakers, they got work to do. They gotta keep building around Luka. Because that's what really this trade was about.
It was about the future.
They didn't feel like they could build around AD, who, as we've already discussed, his past injuries. Yeah. And, his inability to stay healthy as a big. And that's the reason why I think, he wanted to play with a center or be in a natural position of power forward.
Because he takes on a lot of stuff.
Takes on a lot of weight playing in the center.
Yeah, we'll see. But for the near future, right now, I don't think either one of these teams are finals contenders. I think like they'll get to the playoffs, but I
It's
think they'll
funny
be
that
out.
everyone see, not everyone, but some national members feel like they are
Oh, not very
for
much.
some reason, and they like dismissed OKC, they dismissed the Memphis Grizzlies,
The
and they
Houston
dismissed
Rockets.
the Houston Rockets as contenders.
Boston, New
It's
York.
like all of a sudden they made this trade, and all of a sudden the Lakers and the Mavs have ascended all the way to the top, and they haven't really proven a thing thus far.
Mhm.
So
They're proving that they're playoff teams. Yeah,
they've made the NBA interesting and exciting again, which everyone's complaining.
the ratings.
The rating, talking about the ratings are down and things like that. So
Yes. So you think a lot of conspiracy theories are out there saying like because the ratings were so bad that Luka got traded, that Jimmy Butler got traded. Do you believe that theory?
I think load management has a whole lot to do with it. I mean, I understand that players get hurt, but even with the Grizzlies in the beginning of the year, we were talking about how many minutes the stars weren't playing. It was because of load management. Some players were hurt. The old vets, older, like Charles and Shaq, question the toughness of this new generation of players. And, we're talking about who's going to be the next face of the league. It's a lot to do with, players just not taking care of themselves, or maybe the staff, holding the players back from playing, or making their injuries worse than what they are, whatever it is.
Taking 60 to 73 pointers instead of driving into the lane, making a highlight reels.
I mean, even the rumor of, or I know it's been talked about. I don't think this is what actually happened, but talking about playing 4 10-minute quarters as opposed to 48 minutes. You want to drop down to 40, shorten the game. That would literally change the league. I hope they don't do that, because that would change. That would change a lot. I kind of do think that maybe the league will consider the amount of games, maybe shorten it from 82 to 70 something, maybe
70
or no later than none less than 70 games. But they want to go international. They want to do all these different things.
I just think
I think what the league really should do is just eliminate back-to-backs, because if you're going to have players low managed, if you take away those back-to-backs, players won't really have an excuse, that to play these games. So,
do you think that's the reason why? I mean, back to back, and like think about baseball. Baseball is when they play like 4 or 5 straight games. Like it's not they're doing stuff. I don't want to take away from being baseball, but they do stuff. But it's not like they're just football players.
It's apples and oranges.
Two
different. I mean, I don't like when it comes to football. I'm really not a huge fan of the Thursday night games. To be honest, I mean, and they had some games that were on
Wednesday, Christmas Day.
So I mean,
they had a game I think every day this week.
Football is a physical sport. It's an extremely physical sport, and to come back, on a Thursday night to,
it's a lot.
I need at least 2 days for your body to at least heal or get rest, and then you going right back out there. So, I think with the NBA, I mean, this past trade had 60 some players move, which I believe was a record. It just made things exciting. The trade for Luka and AD made things exciting. I mean, it pretty much no star is untouchable.
Kevin Durant, John Morant on the shopping block.
So the trade with Jimmy Butler, because I know we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, the Jimmy Butler trade, I really don't think that trade moves the needle for Golden State because, I mean, they had Klay Thompson, and then you add Jimmy Butler. What is that? And then really, the Warriors were using Jimmy Butler to try to get KD in a separate deal.
Right.
So, were they really committed to the Warriors? Was the Warriors really committed to Jimmy Butler? And then they signed him, to an extension.
121
and
million.
I mean, 121 million, and you had Klay Thompson in your hands right there.
And he wanted 4 years for.
You took significantly less to play in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't think that trade really just
moves the needle.
Moves it for Golden State. Other than you just got a competitive guard who now all of a sudden is happy to play basketball and get back to basketball. I mean,
a better culture. He wants a better basketball culture instead of just a party culture, like you said in Miami. He's like, I want to. You're gonna work.
Hey, no state Texas.
Yeah, you're gonna work, but it's like Stephanie.
Pat Riley though, he's a firm hand when it comes to money and things. So I think he wasn't all the way there.
LeBron in Miami. It was
LeBron leaving.
Like he didn't get what his way. He couldn't get his PR team. He couldn't get his train. Like he couldn't get LeBron. If LeBron couldn't get the powers that he wanted, the stuff that he wanted, what made Jimmy Butler think like I'm gonna get the same treatment like LeBron got? Honestly,
I mean, the entitlement of the NBA players, the entitlement the star players getting their way.
Yeah.
We can go down the line. Jimmy Butler, James Harden,
Aaron Judge. You can go through all the athletes.
We can go through a whole bunch of athletes that all-star players that request a trade or force their way out. And
it works.
Yeah.
I think they get what they want. The NBA works. NFL, I don't know. But NBA,
NFL.
Well, Myles Garrett asked for a trade to Cleveland, and he wants out. And
I hope he gets what he wants, though. I hope Cleveland does it right.
I hope so too. I think.
I was watching First Take, and Cam Newton made an interesting point. He wants to see him in a Dallas uniform. And I mean, it would be interesting to see Garrett on the team that has serious NFL playoffs, Super Bowl title.
Right.
So I hope he lands on the right team.
Okay. So we mentioned Jimmy Butler. You don't think it moved the needle for the Warriors? No. I think I think they're gonna get in the playoffs, but to make a deep run, again, it depends on the matchups, depends on who you're playing on. They'll get to the playoffs. I just think they need more help. Steph Curry cannot do it by him. This is not the Steph Curry when he beat Boston. It was the Steph Curry show. Like, he's getting older. He needs a younger star. Like, Jim, this is a 2-year rental, basically.
I mean, yeah. So, it's a 2-year rental. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge fan of Golden State.
So it's not a lot of Memphians are.
I'm not really huge on Golden State. I think I would be more favorable talking about Golden State if Lester Keown's former Tiger was still there. Because, he seemed to be playing well, and now all of a sudden they let him go. Then James Wiseman, he gets drafted by the Warriors, and he doesn't see the court at all.
I think there was a beef between him and Steve Kerr.
And so, I'm not a huge fan of Steve Kerr either as a coach.
He's gonna need some therapy though, dealing with Draymond and Jimmy Butler. He's gonna need some therapy. He's gonna need some medicine. He's gonna need a lot of blood pressure medicine, like a lot of stuff to deal with those two.
I just hope that they get along.
Yeah,
all of us.
I do, but I think they'll get to the playoffs. But I don't think they make any noise. Let me talk about another good trade. DeAndre Hunter went from Atlanta to Cleveland. Now they got DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell.
Rich.
They look like the team to beat in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Do you agree with that?
Cleveland is looking really good. I still kind of give the edge to Boston because they are the champs.
Mm-hmm.
But Cleveland got all the pieces. They shouldn't have any excuses. Come playoff time to make some noise.
The Knicks
make it to the Eastern Conference.
It's just those three.
And the Knicks. I mean, it all comes down to health.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it really all comes down to. It all comes down to health. If they can all stay healthy, then they should make a deep run. I'm not a huge fan of Philly making it past the first round. They may not even make the playoffs, actually. And to be honest, I feel like a trade. They should have traded Joel Embiid a long time ago.
Oh,
they should have traded him before the season began.
I think you hurt me with that one, Mike. I think
it's absolutely ridiculous that Joel Embiid is still in the league. It's still. I mean, I know he's good, but I mean he's hurt all the time. He's unavailable. He cannot stay on the court.
Bill Simmons.
If they do not make the playoffs, the Philadelphia 76ers should move Joel Embiid. Saying this right now, Tyrese Maxey.
He just won MVP last year.
Tyrese Maxey should go ahead and put in his trade request right now. Trade Tyrese. Go. I don't even know why.
You ready to give up on the experiment though, Paul George?
Yeah, I'm tired of the process.
For 1 year.
I'm tired of the process. I'm tired of the process, y'all. Fans, y'all have to agree with me. I'm tired of this process. I'm tired of this process of Joel Embiid playing one game and then sitting out the next game. He can't stay on the court. Playing one game, then you out 2 weeks because of soreness.
He got into it with Kelly Oubre last night. He wanted to get into a fight and they hugged it. They hugged it out at the end. So I guess that's a beneficial part of it. But for 1 year, I can't.
I'm not.
After next year, maybe. Then you have I would go.
I'm not gonna fit it.
It's just it's 1 year though. No. People get injuries happen.
No.
Injuries happen.
No.
It's out of our control.
No.
Only God can control it. It's way out of their control. But you say started
to move Joel to Charlotte. If he ain't gonna play, if we are not as a fan, if we're not gonna be able to see Joel, the MVP, play basketball, which is what he's paid to do. He got to be on the court.
Him and Melo would be sick though. If he did go Charlotte, him and Melo would.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. So, what team are you surprised didn't do anything at the trade deadline? There were the Orlando Magic, the Denver Nuggets, the Chicago Bulls did something. Am I missing somebody else? Toronto, Portland.
We missed the Spurs.
Oh, Spurs.
Added Fox and Wembanyama. I think that's a great trade. Trae Young, he should be requesting a trade right now. He should go ahead and put that in. Go ahead and submit that. Let them know, let the front office know that by the NBA draft 2025,
it's time to
go ahead. You might be a Laker. You might be a Laker.
Before Luka came in, I don't know now. But
that trade might work.
I don't know what Atlanta was doing. They gave her to Bogdan Bogdanovic. They sent him to the Clippers for Terrence Mann and Bones Highland. Bones Highland is that's one of the most disappointing players I could think of in NBA. This guy was so high for him.
I think when he was with Denver. When he was with Denver, and then he had the potential to blossom in with the Clippers, but then James Harden came in that deal. So, that kind of took away from with his playing time and in Highland, you add Russell Westbrook. I think, we mentioned Denver. I think Denver is rounding into form. They just need some of their role players to step up.
Michael Porter Jr. What is like another one?
Well, he just disappeared.
He
At the
disappeared.
wrong time in the playoffs last year.
Now, if they play the Lakers, every single team, he'll light them up because that's probably the only team he just goes hard, full hard, 100%. The Lakers, like he shoots well, he defends well. KCP the same thing, but if it's anyone else, he disappears. Like they wanted to bench him against Miami in the finals a couple years ago.
Denver is missing KCP.
Yeah,
Denver is missing KCP right now.
Yes,
but I mean,
you think back to the Spurs, like they are a viable threat. Are they in the playoffs?
I think they got. I mean, they got some young pieces. I don't think they're all the way there.
Yeah,
but I mean, adding
I can't see the playoffs though. I don't know.
Wembanyama,
yeah,
I think they need a superstar, a third superstar player.
Mm-hmm.
They could add right there with the Fox. I think the Spurs. I am a fan of what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're being patient.
Poppy better soon.
Wow.
But I'm looking at the standings right now. OKC, Memphis, Denver, LA, Houston, Minnesota, Clippers, Dallas, Phoenix, and Sacramento. Those are the 10. Golden State behind. Golden State, Portland, San Antonio. You could just count Utah, New Orleans out. So currently they're like 2, 3, 2.5 out of the 10 spots, Sacramento. Can they get that 10 spot, 10-9?
Sacramento?
Yeah, I mean San Antonio. San Antonio's behind Sacramento by 2.5 for that 10, that playing spot.
I have no doubt in Wembanyama and Darren Fox showing up. Mm-hmm. It's just their role players. I mean, Vassell you got to show up. You got to be consistent. Castle, their pick. Mm-hmm. He's been playing well.
Right.
They're heavy at guard, but they're small guards. They need somebody, that can another big with Wembanyama to kind of ease the load off them. I think Wembanyama really should be playing like the 4, even though he's 7'4" and tall as all get out. They probably playing in the center position, but with his guards like skills, his guard like handle and shooting, they just need the right player and the right piece to do it. I think he's with the right organization with the Spurs to help him do that. And Fox, I think he made one of the first moves among that other NBA players are going to make. And the answer might be in the draft. Through the NBA draft. It might be, through the development system. They obviously got Chris Paul there, who's a leader or playing the role of a leader.
If they find a way to get PJ Haggard for Memphis Tigers, San Antonio Spurs, I'm gonna be like, come on, y'all still in the system. Like he fits perfect with them. Like a wingman, like a 6'6", 6'7", versatile. Like he fits right in with the San Antonio Spurs. He fits in with a lot of teams in the NBA, but the Spurs were able to get somebody like him because realistically, they're not getting Cooper Flag. They're not getting probably the big man from Auburn. They're not getting some of these marquee high names that you could think of draft. They'll probably have like a 10th, 11th pick, and they'll get somebody that out the blue we don't know nothing about, but then you put them in the system, the farm system of the Spurs.
We'll see how it falls. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting what the Spurs do going forward as they build around Wembanyama. I mean, the Spurs, they're trying to build their dynasty back again, and they got the picks, they got the youth, the pieces to make it work.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Philadelphia's only 1.5 out of the 10th spot over Chicago, but they're 20 and 31. So
the Sixers got so many games on national television, it don't even make sense.
They got the tomorrow game.
Paul George came PG-13, can't stay on the court.
He's podcast people. That's what I call him. Podcast piece. Shout out to Paul George.
Spend more time in the podcast than you do on the basketball court.
He's like the Michael Parsons of the NBA. Michael Parsons in his podcast. Speaking of the 76ers, they play the Bucks tomorrow. is Hubie Brown's last game calling the NBA. The legendary Hubie Brown calling his last game. Former Grizzlies coach. I've heard so many stories about Hubie Brown, how he was very polite with the media, didn't have one bad thing to say. But at practice, you better make sure A, you on time, B, you don't mess around. Like you show it, you put the hard work in.
He's a coach.
Very hard. I think outside of Lionel Hollins, one of the more impactful coaches that the Memphis Grizzlies has ever had in their franchise. I mean, just an all-time iconic legend. He's going to be truly, truly missed.
Yeah, he is.
So that's going to be
legendary.
So we're going to talk more, second half, NBA. The All-Star break is next week.
Yep. Should be interesting.
Are you even going to watch a minute/second of any All-Star activity? Or I'm going to be honest, like, I tried.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They got a new format. I really think they should go back to East, West, just keep it that way. But, I also think that, if you miss it, I think if you miss a certain amount of games, then you shouldn't be selected for the All-Star game. But I also think that if you're going to be selected for the All-Star game, maybe the league should think about it being a voluntary thing. Because if you're not going to play defense, if you're not going to compete, what's the point of watching?
That's my point.
And I mean, Team USA, we watched the Olympics with all the All-Stars playing together. And that was probably the best version of an All-Star game
exhibition
that we've seen, where all of the players are competing, although it wasn't necessarily them against each other, but if they are willing to compete and actually play, then I'll watch.
They'll make it great. They'll make it great again, better again. I always look at, like, on YouTube, 2001 NBA All-Star highlights, 02, 99, 98, the heyday of the NBA to me. Those All-Star games were competitive. They went after each other. They tried to dunk on each other, block shots. They played hard defense. Like, is it because the motivation, like you said, is key? Like, no NBA player wants to be there. They want to be on vacation. They want to be on an island or a beach somewhere on a boat or a cruise, whatever. But it's like, you got all off season for that.
Yeah.
You have like 2 or 3 months to just chill out and relax and do all that. Like, I understand that you need a break. Everybody needs a break from the job, mental health. I get all that. But the NBA players have to be wanting to do, like, make it great again. Like, Kevin Durant said the same thing. I want to go back to East to West. Well, you need to tell your teammates, Joker, and Luke and all of them, play a little bit more better. Like, have some effort. 200 points in a game. I think it was like they scored 200 last year. Like an all-time record for most points in an All-Star game. Like, what are we doing now? Like,
I think they can make it interesting. Mm-hmm. They can make it the face of the league versus the old faces of the league.
That'd be fun.
Who's going to, compile a team like that and get creative with it.
Mm-hmm.
They can go East versus West. They can make it voluntary. There are a lot of things that the league can do.
They could have kept it Team Bron, Team Durant like they did. But it just play harder. That was fun. The LeBron and Durant draft when they were drafted, that was fun. I mean, but play a little bit harder is what I'm saying. Have the motivation. I know they don't want to be there, but increase. I don't know if it is increase the pay, do like a score to beat, but they're doing it for this event. So I'm just gonna watch the highlights on YouTube.
I mean, we'll see how it turns out. I mean, if it flops, we definitely gonna know about it. We're gonna hear about it because the viewers gonna say something. Parents gonna say something.
The dunk contest. No offense to the names on there. I know Matt McClung. Shout out to Matt. He's good. I'm not taking that. The boy can dunk. But everybody else in this competition, the rookies, like, we want to see Jalen Green and John Morant. Like, what are we doing? Jalen Green, John Morant. Those are. I blame.
I want to see John Morant.
I do.
That shoulder,
But he said,
there's no shoulders, man. We need your shoulders. We need that shoulder in the playoffs. You know?
But Ja keeps teasing us, and I ain't gonna dunk no more. I'm gonna dunk no more. But you just dunked on one beyond a couple weeks. You know, it didn't count.
Yeah,
like
he missed the game after that one. We need that shoulder to be nice and tight for the playoffs.
I get it, but man, I just want to see y'all one time for the culture, like be in a dunk contest. And I feel like that's the 3-point shootout should be the last competition anyway. Everybody cares about the 3-point shootout, 3-pointers anyway. They should probably switch that out, the dunk and the 3-point
just not have a dunk contest at all. Just keep the 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
Involve the WNBA because the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark said no.
Need some shout out. They need to be put them out.
But Caitlin Clark said no to go to the All-Star game. That's crazy. Caitlin Clark, one of the WNBA, one of those, said no. Woo! That tells you the state of the NBA All-Star game itself. But it'd be interesting to see there. Like I said, I'm probably gonna watch highlights of it. I think if I was in a social media game, I'd be like, yeah, I want to go see so and so and promote this and this, go to Kenny Smith parties, but to go to the game itself, I probably pass. But NFL season is going to come to an end tomorrow. Maybe they'll pick up their ratings more now that the NFL is over, which leads to the big game tomorrow night. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl 59, the rematch. I'm excited. I think we're going to win, but I'm going to let you start. What do you think? How will this outcome end up? Kansas City or Philadelphia?
It's going to be a really good game. I think the Eagles are the better team. I think the Eagles should win the game. I mean, their offensive line averages what? 6'6", 6'7", 300 pounds.
Lane jump.
Yep. They got the best running back in the league. Top 3 MVP. I think the Eagles have everything they need to beat Kansas City. It's harder to pick against Mahomes because they just have elite play making ability, play calling on offense and defense. And they just seem to make the right plays at the right time in clutch moments. And I really think the game's going to come down to ball control and who makes the big play. And if Eagles stick to what got them there, which was running the football, Jalen Hurts not turning the ball over, doing what he does as a mobile quarterback, making plays. I think the Eagles might have to agree with you. I think the Eagles, they just might pull it out. But
scary though, everybody's going with this.
But
that's the scary part.
We also get a chance to witness history with Kansas City with a 3-peat. And so that would be nice too.
Just not against us.
So we'll see. This game kind of reminds me of, when New England was undefeated and they went up against the Giants. And then the Giants beat them. And everyone was picking or rooting for
the Giants.
The Patriots because it was an undefeated season.
Right.
But because
were the Americans' favorite though? I don't think so. I think a lot of people wanted the Giants to win because they hated the Patriots and the Spygate things. Like, I don't think necessarily they were favorites, America's favorites.
I think the Super Bowl though, a lot of people don't like the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't like Kansas City.
The fan base of Philadelphia. Philadelphia is rowdy and aggressive. Not all Philadelphia fans are like that, you guys. We're not. There's common people like that.
Yeah. Man, it's definitely a pick'em game. I want it to be a good game. I don't want it to be a political circus because Trump is going to be there supposedly.
The first president to ever be in a Super Bowl.
And, also, they had the incident in New Orleans with the terror.
Yes.
The terrorist attack and everything like that. And I really hope that I believe it's going to be a good game, but picking it, who's going to win, I know you're going to go with the Eagles.
Oh man, how did you know? But what would your score be?
Go with the Eagles.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with I think a 3-peat. I think 3-peat. I think against all odds. I mean, we're looking at Kansas City. Pretty much each and every game was a close game. Came down to the wire, and so nothing's going to surprise Kansas City. I think in order for Eagles to win, they need to be blowing Kansas City out. Like it's got to be a double-digit lead, and a mistake has to be made by somebody. I think DeAndre Hopkins could be a factor in this game. I think Kelsey's going to be a factor in this game. The Eagles, they come in with a lot of emotion, with a lot of youth too, because they're a young team also. They're a young team. Yeah. And so, are they gonna buckle the last minute? You got Sirianni, who's kind of,
shaky.
We'll
shaky. Let's put it like this. You would take Mahomes over Jalen Hurts. That's understandable. You're taking Saquon over Kareem Hunt or Isaiah Pacheco. Easy. You're taking Travis Kelce over Dallas Goedert, even though he's close to what people think.
I think it's real even though.
Okay.
I mean, this year, Goddard, Kelsey's older. Goddard's, he had a solid season. Kelsey didn't blow
people away. He's running. His running is like an old man walking on a track in YMCA. Shout out to them, they get it done. But like his running ability is kind of like that similar. It's like he gets there when he gets there, type of thing. Like his route running and all that. You can tell on film, like he doesn't cut like he used to.
The unique thing about Kansas City is they know how to use their wide receivers and tight ends and put them in spots to succeed.
Do you take the receiver core, Kansas City's receiver core, or you take Philadelphia's receiver?
I think Philadelphia's receiving core is better. But again, you got Hopkins. He's pretty good.
Hollywood Brown is back.
Yeah. He's solid. Yeah. Xavier Worthy. They have learned the whole route tree.
Yeah.
So they're starting to use him like Tyreek Hill slightly in a sense.
That's what I'm worried about, Xavier Worthy, his speed, because our corners are great. Like Quinton Mitchell, who was nominated for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Jalen, verse 1, the Rams defensive end. I feel like Mitchell should have won it. I'm being a little biased here. I feel like Mitchell should have won it, but I kind of give verse winning. But you have Mitchell, you have Coop, you have Reed Blankenship. Like our corners,
the Eagles have the best defense, and you're going up against Spagnuolo. It's going to really be a defensive game. Who makes the best plays? Who doesn't turn the ball over? Who controls the ball? And who makes the plays when they matter? With the Eagles, it's been the tush push. With
Kansas City,
it's been Patrick Mahomes doing checkdowns to running backs, short yardage,
or
in the middle, in the zone, with Kelsey, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
So I gave you my X factor for Kansas City. I say Xavier Worthy. Who do you think the guy is for Kansas City that can make an impact, like an X factor for Kansas City?
I would say Hopkins.
Yeah, you don't think Kareem Hunt or
I think Hopkins? Okay. I don't think. Kansas City run the ball. They're good at running the ball. They run hard. Pacheco runs hard. Kareem Hunt. They both run really well. But that's not the reason why they've been winning games.
Mahomes not making.
They can control the clock with both of them running the ball. But I really think DeAndre Hopkins is going to make some big plays at the right time.
They brought him in here for that reason, for this game.
And I think he's the unsung hero, potentially in this game. And we know Kelsey's going to get his touches. He's going to get his looks. He's going to garner attention. We know Xavier Worthy's going to be out in the flat. If they use Xavier different to stretch the field, I mean, you're hitting DeAndre, you're hitting Hollywood Brown underneath most of the time, and you know, for those short yardage plays, you know, if Kansas City is able to get to like 3rd and 5, if they average that the entire game, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard because I mean, Kansas City, they can keep your offense off the field, keep your defense on the field for a significant amount of time if they're able to do that. So, you know, either Kansas City starts off fast, scores, you know, quickly, and you know they get a couple of defensive stops with Philly, um, or it's a grind out, and we're at halftime and it's 10-10.
Yeah.
You know, which it could potentially be. It could be potentially 10-10 and end up being 27-24. Or, you know, I don't think it will be in the 30s.
Oh,
I'm going to call it Kansas City 27, Philly 24.
You mentioned their defense. So 2 years ago, on the Eagles defensive line, they had Namkusu, Fletcher Cox, Liv Joseph. Like, they were in their 30s, like 30, 32, 33. That's not old, but it's like middle age, like my age type of thing.
They had a good defense.
They had a good defense that got us there. That's, you know, they pressured everybody to get to the playoffs. It was fine. You look at this year's defense, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, now Brandon Graham is back. He's like the oldest guy on the team, like on the defense. Between him and Darius Slay. There are so much younger. It's like a brand new car with a brand new engine. Like a faster car with a faster engine type of thing. And you need that speed. Think about how Mahomes lost the Super Bowl to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pressure. They got to Mahomes quick, like bad. And it was like a 30-9 game.
The Kansas City offensive line is still questionable, primarily because of penalties, really.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if it's a left or their right tackle, but he probably false starts every time.
Oh my God!
You know, he leans back.
The right guard. Yes.
He leans back every time, and I'm pretty sure they'll probably point that out during the game. But you know, Mahomes' ability to escape the pocket, which I'm sure Philly's going to key in on.
Getting out of the pocket,
you know, on those key 3rd downs when they need a yard, when they need 5 yards, when they need a 1st down, Mahomes is able to make a play. I mean, that's just who he is. But Hurts can do the same thing. Hurts hasn't gotten a whole lot of respect, but you know, we really should give Hurts his flowers. I mean, he's had like 6 or 7 offensive coordinators. He had to deal with change each and every single year. He's dealt with inconsistency. You know,
second Super Bowl in 5 years.
And he keeps winning.
Yeah.
He keeps winning. You know, he keeps getting there. So it'll be an amazing story for him to win it. And I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think the fans win if it's a good game, if it's a competitive game, and then hopefully it doesn't, well, I don't know if we could say hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't come down to the refs.
I hope not even, please.
Call, you know, a holding call or pass interference,
false
call or some, you know, illegal motion, some, you know.
Oh my God, my favorite penalty of the year,
fumble pass, what you know. There's gonna be some special play that's gonna be made.
Let it be on the field instead of like the referee.
Yeah, let it be on the field.
I got it. That being said, I think the only way you're right. The only way we win this game is a blowout. So therefore, I'm going to say we win. Eagles win. I'm going to say 34-21. I think we get over 30, and I think we just pressure Mahomes. That's the only way I can just win.
That might be exactly what y'all should be shooting for. Y'all need to be shooting for 30 plus.
Yes.
I mean, I really think that. I mean, if you keep it close, anything is possible. Just like with Philadelphia in the Rams game. Now that was obviously affected by the snowy weather, but you know I kind of think the Rams, you know, in perfect conditions, they could have won that game.
Because Matthew Stafford was dealing.
They could have won that game.
I give credit.
You know,
Stafford was dealing. He made great plays but I think we would have done it too. I just feel like Jalen couldn't do anything either. It was just safe. It had to been Saquon Barkley. So
Saquon Barkley got to have the ball. I think they have to involve him and Gainwell in the passing game. I think they use them in the passing game, get them, running and catching the ball.
Yes, you're right. You're right. So I would say 34-21. Are you excited to see Kendrick Lamar halftime show? K-Dot, are you excited? New Orleans, I am. Is he gonna perform now?
I was shocked that he was selected in New Orleans
over Lil Wayne. Yeah,
to perform.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
We'll see.
I saw the Grammys last week too, so I'm a little hyped up. Is he gonna perform? Come on, he's gonna perform. Not like the other guy. He's gonna perform. So I don't. What Fox is gonna do because they Drake in that lawsuit. We'll see. But I'm excited. I can't wait to how that plays out. New Orleans, I can't wait to see that. But it should be a very, very interesting game.
Tigers play tomorrow too.
Before the
they play before the Super Bowl. So hey, go Tigers.
Let me get to that. So they play Temple again.
Yeah.
Remember last time they was at Temple, they went to Temple and lost. They rushed the court. I'm thinking to myself, okay, y'all are not that worthy enough to rush the court. Y'all are not that team. So I feel like Tigers looking for blood tomorrow against Temple.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a get back game. That game, I watched that game, and that was the worst way to lose. The Tigers lost that game simply because they did not rebound.
Mm-hmm.
They did not rebound.
They waited too late.
They did not block out. They just lost because of fundamental basketball. Mm-hmm. They did not stick to just the basic principles of basketball. Mm-hmm. That's really all you need in the AAC is to master the fundamental concepts of basketball to win that league. I think this is a get back game. I hope they blow them out, Temple out, but
I gotta look at the point spread. I think Memphis was favored by 12.5. Let me make sure I get that right. But they should definitely win that game tomorrow. Yeah, 14.5. So it's a 1:00 game, so you guys can sit back, watch that game, and then get ready to watch the Super Bowl.
Right.
That should be marquee. Also, like I said, Hubie Brown's final call game, televised game, NBA game. It's Philadelphia and Milwaukee. So of course, you guys, I'm gonna break all Super Bowl recap. I might go live right after the game, depending on the score. But depending on who wins the game, I'm really honest.
You know he's gonna go live.
Win or lose, I don't know.
Philadelphia Eagles fan.
I don't know.
He's gonna go live.
I don't know. Depending on the results.
Don't disappoint the fans, Greg. Come on, man.
I guess so.
You go live.
When they win, we win. They lose, they lose.
Right.
So after the game, you will see me on Facebook Live, win or lose, and I will kind of recap that, but then go into full detail on Tuesday's episode.
Yeah.
And I'll break it further even more down. When can we do our? Can it be? Well, I know of course Valentine's Day is next week as well, so I'm gonna probably just have one episode next week. But the following week,
the ladies win that one.
So the following week, we can probably come back here in the studio, chop it up some more, get to more NBA talk. The NCAA tournament is right around the corner, you guys.
Getting ready for basketball.
We're basketball driven the rest of this way, rest of the season. Basketball driven college, women's college basketball. Oh, shout out to UT women's team. They beat UConn Thursday. I don't like UConn. I won't say hate. I do not like UConn. I do not like Gino. Making that plain and simple. So I'm glad UT beat UConn. And the UConn men lost to St. John yesterday too. I just don't like UConn. Period. So don't hold that against me, you guys. All UConn fans, don't hold that against me. I just don't. That's my personal opinion. But thank you, Mike. Thank you so much for coming in, chopping it up with me in my studio, you guys. Like I said, you guys, please subscribe to my podcast on YouTube at Throw It Down Big Fella and follow on Instagram at Throw It Down Big Fella Pod. Follow me on Facebook as well. Like I said, I'll be going live tomorrow right after the game. You will see, you just get ready for that tomorrow. It's going to be a high of highs or low of lows. You get to see the best or probably the worst of me tomorrow. So stay tuned for that.
You see tissue or confetti.
Yeah.
Either one of those.
It'd be one of those. So tune in for you guys. Tune in for that, you guys. With that being said, this concludes another wonderful episode of Throw It Down Big Fella Pod. For your boy Greg and for my guest here, Mike. We will see you guys the next time. Until then, peace out.
Peace out.
Throw it down, big man.